Good day and welcome to the Winter 2024 campaign. We're finally back with another campaign, but there's something you can already see here. I have played the first 7 maps until it wouldn't let me play anymore, so I'm not sure if that will be what our intro is in the original version I tried playing, or if this will be the cut that gets through. My GPU is having issues, so I don't even know if this will go up, but hope you're having a good day. Let's hope it does, and we can quickly get through the first few maps, which has a wide corner here. I mean, this is the first time I'm playing today, and as you can see, I'm behind, so I'll warm up as we go. And we have a long turn here, then a pretty easy end. So the big thing in this one is that we have the snow car, which you'll see eventually, and we have the new blocks, which I'll say I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think that's the direction they should have gone, but it's the direction that we will be going now, so... But I would have much rather game modes compared to new environments, personally, as it's quite difficult for a lot of players to control these different cars. As I said, it's what we have, and we do get the off time on this one. Let's move to the next map. I think I've said pretty much all I need to say. If there's a background noise, it's because it's bloody hot here, and I need a fan. Yeah, other than restarting and knowing the first few tracks here is all I've seen of the campaign. So we have a small drift here, and then you can utilize a drift off the grass on that one. Same for the end. Set up a little bit wide if you want. Watch out for the angle here, you can get it way better than that. And make it to the end. Hello Hayes, how you doing? Alright, so again back on to the wood block, which is stupidly crazy in control, but we do have our first look at the snow car if you didn't play the snow campaign. Silky smooth, round we go. Smooth steering does help, but you can easily do this type of map on a keyboard as well. And then to the end. I mean, it is a lot easier when you know the maps to do this playthrough, but I don't find it as fun. I want to see it for my first chance. But, spoiler, I did get these on my first try, other than the first map, for a few of these maps. I think I also got this one on my first time, even with a slow run. But yeah, this one, just look for the smooth line, take it around, and then easy end. Of course, we need a 10-second PF. It's not a campaign without it. And to the end, pretty easy peasy in this A series. All the Nadea metas were very easy on the first few here. As always, if you don't know, there are 5 different difficulties that you can eventually go through, and they get harder as they progress. So, silky smooth again. Take it harshly. Ideally, you want to get like less airtime on the edges here. There's also a gear change there you want to watch out for, but those are for a bit more of a technical stance. Shouldn't need to push it to the limits to get an orphan zone. Onward to our next one, which is the first of the green series. Also, as always, usually you would see a trophy that comes up, and you get that depending on if whatever medal that you do get throughout the series of difficulty you play. This one, just take it smooth, watch the gears change there. Originally I did go on the other side there, but I think that one, if you just go in the middle, it's a lot easier to get the angle towards the end. Alright, we're one-tapping all these. Probably not saying as much of helpful tips as I can as we're one-shotting them, but hopefully you're getting the gist. This one, just watch out that you don't dip too far. Other than the first one, because we have a bit less speed, you can go a little bit lower. Avoid the airtime. This one, you can drift a little bit off the penalty grass if you want, or just try and go for the road. There's a little bit of airtime there to avoid, which gives you a better angle here if you do it well. And as you'll see with my replay there, I did go too far originally, and you want to not go off the top. Just looking for that angle that doesn't push you too high or too low is key with those blocks. So, we're finally back to where I got up to, which I was having a bit of an issue with this map, and there was a reason why. So I'll go through it once, as normal, check it out. And this was one concern I had with these new cars as well, is they've got all the land bugs from back in the day, as they didn't fix any of it, which is pretty irritating. So we'll see what happens with that, but I don't think that's ever going to change, so it's another disappointing aspect of these cars, but I guess it is what it is. But what I was missing is you can go down here instead, and then that will be smoother with a lot more speed, and then you finally get that smooth. So hopefully we look a bit better this time. Probably land smoothly on that one, but don't think it will matter. Air brake here. Okay, not quite. About can't really air brake with the snow car, so okay, using that snow kind of helped a bit because it was a bit more flat where I wanted to land, and then you can zoom to the end. I'll try that one more time. One thing I did forget is the music, so let me turn that on straight after this. Also, one thing that we are missing, which we did miss last night as well because it was too late for him, is a Poolmeister, who usually does join us, but oh my goodness, I guess the walls have not been fixed. They said in this update the walls were going to be fixed, but I guess not. Alright, if you do miss that end, you can just jump on the water. I think it'll be enough for an awful time still if you get the AO8 vibe decently. But, yeah. I really am not a fan of these. But it does seem like we are going to be getting an AO8 every single season in the future, because it looks like there's going to be an AO8 for every new car. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think it's a complete waste of a map. But I guess it is what it is again. Hopefully you guys like it. I know a lot of YouTube Andies are angry when I say I don't like these things, but I'm just going to say it as real as it gets. I really think it's a disappointment that they're using a map slot every single season on it. But anyway, moving to this next one. Had a terrible start. Well, let's try and carry it back. We're finally on new territory, so it is back into the action. Okay, went a bit too sharp there. You want to definitely avoid the snow. Probably avoid the penalty grass, even though you do have the reactor. So we'll finally go back to not one-shotting them, but we do one-shot it, so I think that's quite an easy 80. Just watch out for that first turn, and then the other few I did not too badly. Alright, onwards with the next one. Probably another snow car. Okay, we have two different cars you can choose. Let's go for this car for now. Interesting checkpoint placement. And then we get the rapid snow car difference. Change again, that was a stadium car change. Which you probably want, because I think you'd have it for all this, which would definitely be faster. As much as that last turn is easier, but that seemed quite slow. So cool map there, utilizing the differences that you can have in the map. And that's probably where I like it the most, even though it's like quite difficult to handle. I think it's kind of cool to interlock the cars in different techniques of the map. But yeah, I don't know, I'm still not sure if I'm the biggest fan of how we're going to get every single environment, especially when people already don't like that. It's quite difficult to control them. So silky smooth there. That was a pretty good run, but isn't enough. It is. Definitely go for the sides I went. It seemed a lot faster. And then take it smoothly as possible. Onwards with the next one. Let's take a simply sip while it loads. There was also some loading issues even before it died completely yesterday, so it's good to see that it's working now. But yeah, as you can see by the leaderboard, it's a bit disappointing that I'm this late. But what can you do? As we move on to 11, which is a throwback to the very old 11s, which were always very fast maps. Just taking it smooth, you can definitely speed slide all that, but shouldn't be necessary for AT. Okay, that was a risky line, but it has worked. And drifting all the way down. And that should be enough. Easy for me, but if you're struggling there, definitely try and slightly oversteer on that plastic part, and that is a speed slide on plastic, and that will help you quite a lot, I think. Right, onwards with our next map. Get the insta grip and then insta crash. Very nice. Let's just continue and check out the map. Full dirt it seems. Oh, fantastic scenery in the middle of the road. Love it. They added snow lights to the Japan style blocks. I'm not really sure what you call them. And the default of them are so far into the middle of the road. Even though it is on the outsides of them, but it's enough to annoy me personally, which is an avid person to say, please try and avoid that at all costs. Just in case you are utilizing the entirety of your road. So we tried jumping instantly onto the dirt there, but it didn't seem to be the case. So let's go for the smooth line this time. Watching out for the gear. Doesn't change, so we can do it all in one sharp turn. Try and avoid that gear change, and then to the end. Easy. Right. Onwards. Bit of ice and sausage. Two of what people find quite difficult. But nothing too much just yet. Okay, I went for the air brake. I'm not sure if that's needed. And I also went for the full launch, but it's only a short jump. We're on top this time. Okay, there's the glass to the side, which you definitely want to use. And ideally probably go to the left or right of that, but if you do that, then you're jumping towards the sides, so it will give you a lower jump or lower airtime. So honestly, I just go for full release. And do some left rights there. I didn't make it though, so maybe you do want to go slightly higher than that, because then you'll probably land that smooth. So let's try the smooth line. Pretty good. And to the end. Not the fastest run, but isn't enough. It is. Onwards with our next one. Pretty good maps so far. Nothing too difficult though, so usually when they're quite simple you can't really go wrong. We're onwards with our next snow car. I go way too low there and lose all my speed. Now we have the ice, which I find extremely difficult because you have like no control. You do have the reactor this time, but yeah, this is one thing I've not really gotten used to at all. But with the reactor, you can kind of just angle towards it. Just keep going. Terrible run, but what I did say yesterday as well was I'm kind of learning these styles with you still, even though I have played it a lot in the past, but I've never been very good at it in the past. So don't expect too much from me, but hopefully you can still pick up a few things. It's a lot smoother. Drop down. I default to air braking, but not needed on this car. See, to me that like feels slow, so maybe just watch some replays if there is a faster way. To inside. So yeah, if you can smooth steer, like you can see how OP it is going to be. So that's one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of these multi-environments. I come from playing with keyboards, maybe that's a bias for me, even though I'm playing controller more so in this game, but I try and smooth steer as best as I can. Yeah, that's where the action keys come in, obviously. And obviously we would fail right in front of the finish. Who else would but me? So you can see if you know how to smooth steer, how much faster it is. But you definitely don't need it for off time if that's just your aim. It does help improve some precious milliseconds. So this turns a bit odd to me. Feels like I'm losing a lot of my speed, but you could probably even use that. Usually you don't want to go over the penalty grass, obviously, but maybe on that corner to help you smooth steer, you probably even can use it just a little bit. But that was enough. Watch out for that last turn. It threw me off even on that last attempt. And then you should have it. Next, a map hay. Couldn't quite get it full speed, but that will come with practice if that is true or not. Avoid the sand traps as much as possible. Just cheeky air brake. Around we go. This one you definitely can go over the penalty grass, as it was a smooth angle and downhill. This one I will use a little bit, has worked out well. This one not so much. That one you definitely want to avoid, but I didn't quite get it. And I would imagine we're coming up to the finish now. And that was a really good run, even though I'm only 6,000 place. Well, I guess it wasn't then. It felt really fast. But we know where we can improve. So a lot more faster here. Pre-angle for those kind of jumps. Same as here, already start turning. That was not that great, but it works. This one sharper this time. And same for the end. Cool map. Even though I'm very slow on it, it seems. And as we get more medals, and even more medals, we move on to our next lot of maps. So we've zoomed past this in an absolute insane pace. So we knew half the maps. Let's go to our next one after a drink. Alright. It is very hot, as I said. I'm gonna presume we jump that way. So look for the pre-drift. Something I didn't mention on the other source of map is if people struggle with these, a lot of time I recommend trying to look ahead. So with this one, I thought it might be the left side, because I saw a left drift coming, but try it again and we get it. And then a smoothie. So starting on the right, jumping into the left, jumping down. As much as I am not a fan of this probably being the main sausage map, I would imagine, and it being locked into a lot of cruise control, that's a pretty cool map. Let's try it again a bit better. Let's see how much quicker a start is if you're not distracted by drinking. No drinking and driving. Not recommended. So definitely still pick up the red boost, but already start angling into that. Not sure if that was the optimal angle, but it seemed to be pretty nice. Start a bit wider. Ugh, yuck. Let's continue. It might be enough, because that was a pretty good start. You can drift this one way more. Again, there's signs in the middle of the road. And to the end, so I'm not sure if that's enough. Don't think so. Go again. As much as I want to go as fast as possible, I don't mind. This seems like a pretty fun map if you were to hunt it a bit. So ideally you get low airtime there. But need just the advanced things to think about. See if I can get 3 out of 3 on this. I can, a bit slow this time, but not too shabby. Up to the middle. Not too far up to the top though, because they like to not add extra blocks where it is necessary. Typical Nadeo as well. So lower jump, slightly faster. Jump into it, you see how much grip I got there and how much faster you can be. I'm gonna go for the same approach. I'm not really sure if that is the fast strat, but so that was way too inside of a line, but we'll go with it. Already drifting. And use the plastic here to start a drift a lot faster, and there we have it. Pretty cool map. It makes sense that there's cruise controls to lock you in to the speeds for the drifts. But I do like when you can full send it a bit more. Alright, back to the very fast turning blocks. I thought they were changing the speed of the start, but the start was still quite slow there. Although there is one note, they were changing the physics of maps which are older than a certain date, so maybe these maps were made beforehand. I haven't gone into the editor and checked anything. Alright, so a lot of speed, but we lose it instantly. Interesting. But yeah, these maps in particular are probably my least favorite, in my opinion. I really do not like the 1000% grip at 999 kilometers an hour. I find it extremely weird. So why I crashed there was because I couldn't decide where to go, as I saw the cheeky shortcut a bit too late. It doesn't matter because we would definitely have to do another run, but let's see if we can get it on this attempt. So avoid the air time there, going a bit more left. There we go, of course, PF straight. I mean, at least there hasn't been too many of the PF straights. I'm just going to tap. As I said, I'm not the greatest at smooth steering. So even if you're a keyboard player, it's still definitely possible. Won't be optimal, but it will get you the job done. If you are like me, you're never going to be perfect at this game. But that will be enough to get a overtime. To be fair, that's a pretty smooth map. and pretty clean. But yeah, often not my preference in map style. Back to another sausage run, but is it just the start? Big drift. Ooh, that's a lot of speed for it. Okay, so we do actually kind of get another one here. And I guess I talked too loudly because we now have a lot of speed, but it's slightly awkward because of the reactor. So that's not really what I was hoping for. But it is that fastest sausage, and we're getting quite a lot of it so far this campaign. So I'm not sure if people will be a fan of that. Especially this fast one. Oh, I can't wait to bump my head every single time. To the end. Interesting map. Not sure what I feel of that yet. So you can see I get a little bit wide there and get the air time. Start your drift early, try and stay on the inside. Hang on. So I think you want to slightly go over the top because we have the reactor. This one, start your pre-drift in the middle of the crest, or the bottom of the crest there, the dip. This one, stay on the inside of a drift. And speed slide up here if you can. Big drift. Go for this side. Another big boy drift. Left side to the middle and then another left. And then this one was a massive drift. And then if you struggle with that end, just kind of practice from the checkpoint. Seems like a pretty good placement for it, so. That's another thing with these blocks, if you struggle, just practice. I mean, people are going to say the exact same about the snow blocks, but I find it quite helpful on this particular block. So small releases if you need. Start the drift early. Maybe even go a bit wider, I guess. So yeah, this will be a struggle map for a lot of people, I can already see. It's a little bit awkward with the reactor, not gonna lie. I will 100% get at this attempt though. 100%. I was just checking if you're watching, so this one's 100%. Okay, a bit too much of a release. I mean, if you do get locked into the inside there, it's not the worst, just like release a little bit more. This one, start your drift with the grass. Go a little bit wide. Don't crash into that like I nearly did. Send this quite far. Double tap drift if necessary, but not ideal. Again, like, even if you just do small releases, like this is me safing it a lot. And you should be able to get a time which is the best run or rank so far. Even not, even though I don't think that was that fast of a run. But it is enough. Let's go for the wall ride, then jump in, no airtime needed. This one we can. So I'm liking the map so far. It's no shitty spring campaign. The last campaign I think was pretty decent. This one's looking like, again, it's pretty decent. We have a wall ride this time. Uh-oh. Yep, that's 100% the way to do that. That one, not so much. I'll laugh if this is enough for off time. So this one you do want to wall ride. I think I've found if you hold it in the direction that you're doing, it is faster, because sometimes if you don't, the gears are weird. Alright, we do at least get one more attempt. Not good for the speed run, but good for entry. Weird. So yeah, just practice with holding, practice with air brake timing and stuff like that. I can't tell from this immediate playthrough. That was late. Usually when you try and like get it just a little bit before where it starts to turn. Just a little bit. Okay, this one, let's go for a full. Okay, so I think it might be a back hit, but I'm still a bit confused by that. Again, always watch replays. Can help out a lot if you don't have the club access. They actually changed that for this season, or for this year. And now there's only 2 versions of the game, club and free, instead of a standard in the middle of that. And as far as I know, you can't see the replays or the leaderboard on free to play. But there's always YouTube to help you with that if you need. Alright, I just YOLO'd that start and it worked well. One thing I've always said on low settings is I've struggled to... I did notice it going into this part, but I always struggle to tell the difference between ice and asphalt in this game, and they've never ever bothered changing it. On the higher settings you get these lines, as far as I remember. But this is an awkward map on first playthrough. Not sure if it is just awkward. But on first playthrough here, it definitely is. Okay, that's still too much. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be drifting on these exits. You want to be ready to not turn for just a moment and then go for it. Right, I'm going to take another simply sip real quick. Alright. Let's see if I remember that. So they're definitely starting to get a bit more complex. So there is a bit of ice there. I'm going to go for this early approach, but I'm not sure if it's the one you want. You still have ice tires there for a drift. And we kind of do have enough to drift this one. I'm very concerned about this. Smooth steering, start your drift. Okay, that worked. Bit later, bit more angle. This is going to be a rough map for me. I like to send things, and I don't think sending everything in this map is... I mean, I can try a bit of a drift. I guess maybe drift is possible on that particular one, because your next jump is to the left anyway. Usually, the obvious thing to do from ice to asphalt is no drifting. But it's not always the case, as I absolutely suck at this start. I don't like this start transfer. But yeah, just try and get as little airtime as possible. Up early again. So you saw me with full grip there, like, it makes me wonder if it is not a drift needed. Let's go a bit later, so we start onto the asphalt early and we can actually angle ourselves preemptively. I've used the ice on purpose there to slow down, but again, I fucking suck at this game, so... Still don't get this. Yeah, not a map that I'll be playing much. Not really a fan of these maps. They are good maps, don't get me wrong, but not for me. They seem like they're starting to calculate the maps a lot more than what they used to, which is very ideal. To me, they used to feel super rushed for so many campaigns. But so far, this seems very polished. I won't talk too early because we've still got the black maps to do. Those could be very interesting, but from what we've seen so far, it's a pretty good campaign. Told you, I YOLO'd on that first run, and that's the best fucking start I'm ever gonna get. Alright, let's try a no drift just for this one. I think it's pretty similar. I think it is faster if you get it ideal. Or with an ideal angle. This one I will drift though, just because of the angle of the box. I'm just gonna slow down. You can try and get that a bit better, just practice over and over again. But yeah, no drifting out for this end, and then to victory, just so I can move on. Alright, but yeah, that seems like a good map. And that was the last for Red Series. On to the wood surface again. A very dark map for me. Hopefully you guys can see. It's, lighting is really bad. So it looks like maybe they finally added start blocks that you can use with snow car, potentially? That was the stadium car. Hopefully they've added ones that you don't need to have a transfer block straight away. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is a map. Again, this is the type of map that I'm definitely not a fan of, but they do really seem like they're calculated well. So that is good to see. Just go again. It's ironic that I say they seem calculated and then I crash, but that was just because I had a bad angle. Yeah, don't ask me what's the fastest inputs. I have no idea for ice. I played 14, I think it was, in last campaign, and I was slow every time, so I have no idea. Go ask Woody Chan, he seems to be the bobsleigh guy. So how do I do this without drifting? So you can see how OP smooth steering is. This one seems like it is going to be possible with taps, but a lot more tough. And that's why I don't really like this, as I've stated. Like, I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of smooth steering. Can't get used to it, never will. As Trackmania people like to say, skill issue, XD lol. So, it is what it is. But I don't know, to me, just obviously I'm biased because I've played the game for a long time. But drifting just seems a lot more natural to you being able to time the amount of brake you want and the amount of pre-angle of a drift you're going to set up for, compared to pretty much have to smooth steer. Or I will change it, you have to smooth steer to be fast. If I tap, I'm not going to be faster. Ugh, this is a yikes map to me, personally. It's not a bad map, I just don't like it. Try and look for the red lines here. It's a bit wide, there we go. Haven't turned too much again. Watch out for the, it has worked brilliantly for me, but watch out for the different percent of angle that you have there. There we go, a bit of a wacky one, which is cool, but not for me at all. Keep getting the car for some reason. As we move to the next one. Bit of a longer map it seems. Don't often have the leaderboard up, but as it is there, have it. Alright. Went to go smooth, and then I saw that we had to go for another jump. Classic. You can already see some reactor shenanigans in this map, like with map 25 last season. And that turn, you're going to have a lot of speed with the proper amount. Okay, so there is a wall ride. I'm like, kind of looks like you're supposed to be turning down the bottom here, but that wouldn't have been the vibe of the map. Okay, internal cam. And to the end. Okay, bit different again, bit different. 1 second. Have to wipe off the sweat. I love 100% humidity. Right. Let's try this again, shall we? So I might even go up early because there was a bit of a tilt here. But yeah, just gotta watch out for where it tilts back down. Hit a little bit of the grass to get a better angle here. Not sure if that's what you want or not, but it's what we tried this time. Watch out for the air time on this one. I think if you really want to risk it, there's a bit of grip there that will help you get a better turn. Up and over, a few releases if you want to risk it. Get the gear change, keep it rolling. Just notice there's another floating pole. There was a floating pole on, I think, 2 that I didn't say in this particular run today, but I think yesterday I noticed. Wow, that isn't enough. Interesting. So once again, the Black Series are a little bit tough. Definitely gotta hit everything. Don't hit everything like that, though. Of course. It's like I'm doing this on purpose. I'm really not. But it's working out well today, isn't it? It's a bit more smooth. Okay, I was going to go for a early no drift, but that has failed miserably. Go for a wider setup this time to get more speed for this move. Let's risk it. Okay, I didn't quite get the grip, but it does look like it's probably plausible. I could be wrong. Oh, one thing I talked about in the last campaign as well with the RPG map, I like to already be in camera 3. It kind of sets your camera up a little bit better. And then I'm not sure, I think this smoother as well will save a little bit of time. I'm not sure if it will work on this particular exit, but yeah, if you just go very quickly in and out of your internal camera, kind of resets your camera placement, which I find very helpful. So like, for example, I'm in this, and then I quickly go out of it just after a jump. Anyway, let's continue with this map. Is this going to be a full, oh my... Okay, I've somehow nailed that. Okay, a bit different, a bit wacky. I'll land into it. The soups are going to be crazy. Uh-oh. Need full focus for this. So definitely different. Oh, game crash, game crash, game crash. And cancel recording. Oh, I'll be back. Okay, it didn't actually crash. It just took a long time to load. So we're back. We can actually send the start this time. A bit more inside of a line. Set up earlier, but we have more speed, so we didn't quite get it. Let's go far right and then left here. So you just play with start, play with respawns as well, practice your angles. Can't tell what is the most optimal in a 3-minute playthrough. But something like that feels like it's probably the fastest. Oh, good. Okay, let's aim for the sign. So you see how I also did the camera thing there? Okay, so aiming for the sign actually worked pretty good there. Right, alright. Surely I remember the rest of the map. Tell me what you think of this map. A bit different. Okay, I'm going for the break there. I'm not sure if that's fastest or not, but worked out well. Just going for some breaks. You don't need to absolutely send it, I'd imagine. But fuck it, let's go for the full send to the end. If I don't, yep, tree. As expected. Alright. One more time then. But yeah, if you're about to crash, you can even use like the brakes to hold it off a little bit. But we won't go for the fastest run ever, we'll just go for a pretty safe run. Already be in your camera and exit your camera. At least strat this time. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's faster. Harder angle there, and then go a little bit higher this time. Drop it down. You see that's a bit too high there. And I really don't like blind turns. So pretend like this was the time I said last time. Or this one. Or even this one. Third time lucky. Here we go. So usually I'd probably cut this out, but I'm probably going to just upload this raw because of my issues. Hopefully you guys enjoy it nonetheless. Pre-angle again. The zoop, start braking early. Fuck. I'd like to move on now. That is what happens with speedy maps like this. You can just fail in literally an instant, unfortunately. Not getting it this time. Maybe on another day I would have. If I'm angled this way, just hold left already. Which has worked out pretty decently, to be honest. Okay, middle this time. Super wide and super safe to get a nearly 420.69 time. Nearly got it, nearly got it. So that was the third last actually, so not too many left. So we get another ice map, which you literally can't even see. They really need to look into this, in my opinion. They never will, but they really should. So it seems like probably a full ice map, not quite. Nearly got that. So there's the plastic there that you can kind of whip your car back. So I'm not sure whether to send it at a 90 degree or not. Alright, that was horse shit, but it's our first run, it's fine. Already start drifting, a couple taps of the brakes, and probably don't even need the second one because it was a wider turn than expected. Or a longer turn than expected. Yeah, we don't need to see the car again. Okay, that's a fail once more, but let's pretend like it was what you want. Small release to get a faster angle. Small release again to cancel the angle. Didn't need that brake. This one I think just go up and then start drifting maybe? And yeah, the 90 degree worked, so I think that might be it. That one definitely not. How did I miss that much? And then you jump far enough to start to get into a drift. Small release again to stop it. And I'm just gonna do the one. Oh no, one more. So 53.20 if I hadn't respawned. Let's see if I get that this time around. Let's try and avoid the snow, but then all of a sudden I got a massive angle. Man, this start is literally brighter than my future. What the hell? I cannot see. Okay. Guess that'll do. It's not great, but it works. So if you're a bit wider than expected, you can start to already release a few times. So I went for an inside angle, hasn't worked. about a bit of a cheaper line here. It has worked. But we missed the angle on that one. At least this shows you like different ways to maybe do it. Try not to release until the very end on that, because you will probably slide out because of a gear change. So if you're sliding out, it's probably because you're changing gear. Right, not a clean run, but it was enough to get a decent time. Next map, and we have the wood straight away. So not going to be a map that I am fast on. But hopefully a fun map. So you already get jebaited by the steering again. Cheeky boost to get. And this is a bit of a boring map so far. A tight section to sharp turns again. Oh my goodness. Hope you all did the exact same thing there. Hope I wasn't the only one. And that's exactly why I don't like it. Like, I just... Your brain isn't here to function like that, in my opinion. But that's what we're forced to play now. Okay, and then just a random fish pond to the end. That's a pretty disappointing map to round us off, in my opinion. I liked this campaign, to be honest, but this is just a nothing map. Not sure what you guys think. Because the last map of last season felt like it was built by 3 different people. I think it was pretty fun of a map. Okay, this is a drift. Seems like it's pretty good as a drift. Obviously this one not so much. Did somehow avoid the wall. We got a landing bug I've already talked about. There's another floating pillar, which we've also talked about on multiple maps. So I was saying it felt like it was fleshed out quite nicely, but there has been multiple floating poles. That's a triple minus. Yep, that is the way, guys. That's the one. Oh, you're kidding me. Yeah. So they really, really need to fix these landing bugs. Obviously that run didn't matter, but imagine if I'm in a tight ranked battle, and then that's what happens. The other guy just wins, because he didn't get it. That's another topic I haven't talked about at all so far today. What's your thoughts on ranked now that we're going to have these multi-styles? Let's see if this is going to be enough. I've lost a lot of speed. But maybe with some good drifts we can get it. So set up wide and then start to turn a bit more harshly. I'm not sure if I rate that turn. Up we go. Gonna... Yeah, that's a difficult chicane. I'm not really sure how to do that just yet. But, as always, just practice from the beforehand checkpoint. Let's see if that was our conclusion. No is the answer. So a bit of a harder AT again. I think there was like a middle map of last season which I found slightly difficult. People said it wasn't too bad, and then they found 25 the hardest. I've only really seen 2, including this map, of somewhat difficult ATs. They seem pretty relaxed for maybe try and get the beginners to play all the maps. I think some of these will definitely be a little bit tough. Okay, we actually lost a lot getting the bounce there. Yeah, I have no idea how to do that. We're going to lose all our time back. That's why I thought that run before might have been enough. Oh, we haven't lost all of it. What if we get a better turn here? So already pre-drift when you change, and that's a lot better. Now we have the risky turn. Ooh, nice. I think, yeah, you save a lot at the end if you can get it nicely. So that will be... That won't be it. To be fair, we have had this on multiple seasons that I've played. That I feel like I've had a brilliant run on 25 and then all of a sudden it's not enough. But I feel like if you need to get everything like semi-perfect, it's a bit too much of an offer time. It's our run time. Just over the hour, so we didn't quite make the hour. But I guess that's somewhat reasonable. Set up wide. Try not to drift. This one though, you definitely do want to drift. Okay, I tried for something different there and it didn't work. Yes, expert. I really don't like that middle section. You have way too much speed for what it feels like you should have. Other than that, it doesn't seem like a bad map. Clipped a little bit, so lose some time. Way fast this time. Already be turning. That was silky smooth. But what about this one? Yeah. I don't really rate this map. Which is really disappointing. I thought this campaign was quite decent. So 2 maps kind of quite disappointing towards the end in my opinion. Let's see how many ads I drag out, aka how many attempts it takes me at this final map. This is not helping. So I'm behind, I've absolutely centered and it worked out well. Bro, I really dislike this part. Feels really unintuitive. Let's have 700 kilometers an hour and then all of a sudden a fucking 170-degree corner. Yeah, really disappointing way to end in my opinion. I quite liked this. But there's kind of quite a few maps that I won't be playing, which ruin the season again. Well, that's the wrong way of putting that sentence. Ruin me wanting to hunt for a longer period of time. Because I like all this, but then, yeah, this corner's just like way too sharp. And then this one's just rubbish. I'm just gonna stall this fucking recording out by 10 minutes because of this stupid turn. It's really, really garbage. That's so irritating. Thank you, Loster. That's very kind to scribble for another month. Doing well. Kind of lucked out saving that. A small break before it. That's what I mean, like it just honestly feels like luck if you're gonna make it or not. Okay, let's just break early. It's not great, but that will most certainly be enough this time. With a very fast rank to round us off. Well, there we have it. We prolonged the end a lot. That will be it for the playthrough. Disappointing that we couldn't do it on the day. Typical Nadeo breaking the game when they update it instead of fixing anything. But that's for another story. Overall, nice campaign. I don't know if I rate a few maps. Definitely 25 I don't rate. And I think it was 21 I'm not a fan of. Most of the others pretty good. Tell me what you think of the snow cart. Yeah, I don't think I like it overall, because it's just, to me, it just feels such differences, which is good. It means multiple ways to play the game, but I don't know, call me old school, I just prefer Stadium. There's a reason I played 20 years of Stadium and not 20 years of United. I'll just leave it with that. But yeah, for the campaign itself, pretty nice. Let's see how the next few cars are going to be in the following few campaigns as well. That's for the future. Hope you enjoyed for this one. Tell me what you think. I am very interested as always. Until next time. See you later. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be raw. It probably will be. Hopefully at least something goes up on the YouTubes. That was the live reaction from yesterday or just this in full. Only time will tell. I'm running on fumes on my GPU, so it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully it was enjoyable either way. See you around. Bye bye. Follow, like, sub, do it all. You know how it is. Peace.